What if your brain has two separate minds, one fast, one slow, and they're always fighting? We all think we're rational, but half the time our brain is on autopilot. Ever wondered why you make mistakes you knew were wrong? The answer lies inside thinking, fast and slow, and we're about to shortcut right to it. Dr. Kahneman, you say our brain has two separate minds, one fast, one slow, and they're always fighting. Why is System 1 so dominant, even when it's wrong?
System 1 evolved to keep us alive, fast like spotting a predator in the grass. It's automatic, emotional, and saves energy. But in modern life, it's overused, like judging a job candidate by their handshake instead of their resume.
But in the real world, we don't have time to slow down for every decision. How do we balance speed and accuracy?
Use a forcing function, a rule that makes System 2 kick in for high-stakes decisions. For example, if you're buying a house, write down 3 reasons you might regret it before signing. This forces slow thinking without wasting time on small choices.
You talk about confirmation bias, our tendency to favor info that fits our beliefs. Why is this so hard to fix?
System 1 loves consistency. It's easier than updating our views. We seek info that confirms what we already think because it feels safe, even if it's wrong.
But in a world of social media echo chambers, how do we actively fight this bias?
Use the devil's advocate tool. Pick one belief you hold strong, then write down 3 pieces of evidence that contradict it. Do this weekly. System 2 needs practice to override System 1's need for consistency.
Anchoring when we rely too much on the first number we hear. Why does this work even when we know it's a trick?
System 1 grabs the first piece of info, the anchor, and uses it as a reference point. Even if you know it's arbitrary, like a sales price, your brain can't ignore it. It's like trying to guess a number without thinking of the anchor first.
That sounds automatic. How do we stop anchors from messing up our financial decisions, like buying a car?
Use the anchor reset tool. Before negotiating, write down your true budget and 3 reasons it's non-negotiable. When the salesperson throws a high number, look at your list. This forces System 2 to take control and ignore the anchor.
Loss aversion, we hate losing more than we love winning. Why is this such a powerful driver of bad choices?
System 1 sees loss as a threat to survival. Even a small loss feels bigger than a big gain. So we hold on to bad investments, stay in bad jobs, because the pain of losing is worse than the joy of gaining.
That sounds good in theory, but for someone stuck in a job they hate because they're scared of losing income, how is that practical?
Use the loss versus gain calculator tool. List the monthly cost of staying, stress, unhappiness, and the potential gain of leaving, growth, joy. Multiply each by 12. System 2 can compare numbers better than emotions. If the gain is 2x the loss, it's time to act.
Overconfidence, we think we're better than we are. Why do even smart people fall for this?
System 1 loves stories. We create narratives about our skills that aren't based on facts. We remember our wins, forget our losses. So we overestimate our ability to predict the future, like stock prices or project deadlines.
But how do we check our overconfidence when making big life decisions like starting a business?
Use the base rate tool. Find the average success rate for your venture, e.g. 20% of startups survive 5 years. Then write down 3 ways your plan is different from the average. If you can't name 3, your confidence is unfounded. System 2 needs data, not stories.
You say intuition is only reliable in high-validity environments like chess or medicine with clear feedback. Why do we trust it in areas where it's useless, like predicting the stock market?
System 1 confuses familiarity with skill. If you hear about the stock market every day, you feel like you understand it, even though it's random. Intuition works when there's consistent feedback, but not when the world is messy.
How do we tell the difference between good intuition, like hiring someone, and bad intuition, like picking stocks?
Use the feedback loop test tool. Ask, will I get clear, quick feedback on this decision? If yes, e.g. hiring, you see their work in 3 months, trust intuition? If no, e.g. stocks, feedback takes years, use data. System 2 needs to separate feel from fact.
Framing how a question is worded changes our answer. Why do we fall for this even when we know it's a trick?
System 1 responds to emotion, not logic. If a medical treatment is framed as 90% survival rate, we feel hopeful. If it's 10% mortality rate, we feel scared even though it's the same number. Framing taps into our fear or hope.
But in politics or media, framing is everywhere. How do we avoid being manipulated by the words people use?
Use the rephrase test tool. Take a framed statement, e.g., "This policy will save 10,000 jobs," and rephrase it to the opposite, e.g., "This policy will cost 5,000 jobs." If your opinion changes, System 1 was tricks. System 2 needs to look at the numbers, not the words.
Cognitive load. When System 2 is tired, System 1 takes over. Why do we make worse decisions when we're stressed or tired?
System 2 uses energy. When you're tired, you have less to spend. So you default to System 1's autopilot, which makes impulsive choices like eating junk food or yelling at someone. It's not laziness, it's biology.
For parents juggling work and kids, how do you keep System 2 active when you're exhausted?
Use the 2-minute reset tool. When you feel overwhelmed, stop and do 3 deep breaths. Then ask, "What's the smallest decision I can make right now?" E.g., "I'll make coffee before checking emails." This reduces cognitive load and lets System 2 recover.
Regression to the mean. Extreme events tend to be followed by normal ones. Why do we ignore this and attribute success to skill?
System 1 loves cause and effect. It hates randomness. If an athlete has a great game, we say they broke out, not that it's a random spike. We want to believe success is due to skill, not luck.
But in business, leaders get fired for a bad quarter even though it's regression to the mean. How do we stop blaming people for randomness?
Use the regression check tool. Before judging a result, look at the 3-year trend, e.g., sales, performance. If the bad quarter is an outlier, it's random. If it's part of a trend, it's skill. This forces System 2 to ignore System 1's need for blame.
Heuristics. Mental shortcuts System 1 uses. Why do these shortcuts lead to mistakes even though they're supposed to help?
Heuristics are great for simple problems, e.g., "Is this animal dangerous?" But bad for complex ones, e.g., "Should I invest in this startup?" System 1 uses the same shortcut for everything, even when it's wrong.
How do we know when to use a heuristic and when to slow down?
Use the complexity test tool. Ask, "Does this decision have more than 3 variables?" E.g., price, quality, risk. If yes, slow down. Use System 2. If no, heuristic is fine. This helps you avoid overusing System 1 on hard problems.
You say we mispredict what makes us happy, like thinking more money will make us happier. Why is our brain so bad at this?
System 1 confuses wanting with liking. We want more money because it feels like a reward, but once we have it, the happiness fades. Hedonic adaptation. System 1 doesn't account for adaptation, so we keep chasing things that don't make us happy.
But for someone stuck in a cycle of buying things to feel happy, how do you break that?
Use the happiness log tool. Every night, write down one small thing that made you happy, e.g., a walk, a call with a friend. After 2 weeks, look at the log. Most of the happy moments aren't from buying things. This trains System 2 to prioritize experiences over stuff, overriding System 1's want for more.
Some alternative media say your theory of System 1 and System 2 is too simplistic, that the brain is more integrated. What's your response?
I agree the brain is complex, but the 2-system model is a useful simplification, not a perfect description. It helps people understand why they make mistakes, which is more important than perfect accuracy.
But if the model is simplified, how do we avoid misapplying it to real-life decisions?
Use the model check tool. When you use the 2-system model, ask, "Is this decision really about fast versus slow?" If yes, use it. If no, e.g., a moral choice, don't. This keeps you from forcing the model onto problems it doesn't fit. System 2 needs to be flexible.
The key takeaway: your brain isn't broken, it's just wired to be fast first. Use these tools to slow down when it matters. Apply one today, your future self will thank you.
Exactly. Small, consistent steps to train System 2. That's how you take back control.